State Senator Wendy Davis became known as a leader for abortion rights statewide and nationally after her June filibuster. Now the Democrat from Fort Worth is becoming more clear about what she wants to do with her new higher profile. Davis spoke in D.C., where she's also held recent fundraisers. Fox 4's Calvert Collins joining us now with her words and also her analysis on what's up for the future. Calvert.
Well, she was pretty non-committal, Heather. Wendy Davis says she will either return to her run for re-election for her Senate district in Fort Worth or run for governor, and she will make that decision by Labor Day. She catapulted to fame for that 11-hour marathon filibuster on June 25th, but is now showcasing her record and differentiating herself from top Texas Republicans.
Well, I can say with absolute certainty that I will run for one of two offices, either my state Senate seat or the governor.
No pink running shoes needed. Wendy Davis enjoyed her time in the spotlight at the National Press Club.
When I stood up at my desk that day, though, I had no doubt that filibustering the bill was the right thing to do. But I had no idea that it would trigger such an overwhelmingly positive response around the country.
In what sounded like a campaign speech, the state senator since 2008 described the GOP leadership in Texas as fractured and disconnected.
They brag about our low unemployment while at the same time slashing and dramatically underfunding public education. They travel to states as far away as California and New York trying to lure business to Texas while at the same time ignoring the needs in our community college.
Davis talked about tackling predominantly Republican issues like transportation and water funding, while explaining her political passions for women's rights, equal work for equal pay, and consumer protection. UTA political science professor Alan Sachs believes she will run for governor, but handicaps it as
it's going to be tough, very tough. And I think the Democrats know it.
Just as Davis's words and presence energized the left around defeating the abortion restrictions bill, Sachs says the right gained momentum of its own in passing it. But to win in 2014, he adds she has to prove she's well-versed in all issue areas and can get the job done.
She's going to have to talk a lot more than just abortion, and the Republicans can come back and say, when the economy hit the nation, Texas survived better than the rest.
Well, ultimately, to defeat a Republican for Texas's top job, Alan Sachs believes Wendy Davis will have to woo Republican women and rural voters over to her camp. Heather, you may remember the last Democrat and woman to get elected to the governor's office was Ann Richards back in 1990, and she served one term.
All right, so Alan Sachs says she's going to have to do those things, but also this is turning out, Calvert, to be a very expensive governor's race, so she needs to make some money as well, raise some money. The few who have already announced are already in there competing. So can Davis make enough money to compete with them?
Well, I guess we will, to be determined, but by the end of June, just a few days after that famous filibuster, she had already raised $900,000 according to her team. Then within weeks after that, she'd been part of a lot of pricey fundraisers in Washington, D.C., including a $500 a plate breakfast. But she's going to need a lot of cash because Attorney General Greg Abbott already has $23 million in the bank. That was by the end of July. And former Reagan official Tom Pauken has about a fraction of that. But they've already said they're in the race. They're bringing their money to compete. So we shall see. Labor Day is the decision day.
All right, we'll find out. Calvert Collins live in the newsroom tonight. Thank you.